is exactly how everybody felt about Ryan Reynolds.
Question.
I have a question.
Oh, hey, Ryan Reynolds. Hey, Ryan Reynolds, how's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have found themselves at the center of an unexpected Hollywood controversy. And this time, their charm and wit might not be enough to save them. Their surprise appearance at Saturday Night Live's 50th anniversary special has sparked confusion, outrage, and serious legal implications. While SNL was meant to be a celebration of comedy legends, the unexpected presence of Lively and Reynolds became the night's biggest talking point, leaving many questioning why they were even there in the first place. The controversy revolves around Lively's ongoing legal battle with It Ends With Us director and co-star Justin Baldoni. Lively has accused Baldoni of serious misconduct, filing a civil rights complaint that has since snowballed into one of the most talked about disputes in Hollywood. With multi-million-dollar lawsuits on the table and a battle over public perception raging on, one would think Lively and Reynolds would lay low and avoid unnecessary scrutiny. Instead, they decided to do the exact opposite. Not only did they attend the SNL event, but they also went on stage, where Ryan Reynolds made a joke that many interpreted as trivializing the entire situation. His now infamous quip, "How's it going? Great, why? What have you heard?" might have been intended as lighthearted, but in the context of an ongoing legal war, it sent shockwaves through Hollywood. Critics argue that this was a colossal PR blunder, one that made the couple look out of touch, dismissive, and worst of all, completely unbothered by the very allegations that Lively herself brought to light. Hollywood insiders and A-listers reportedly wasted no time gossiping about the couple, with many distancing themselves from them altogether. Some even unfollowed Lively on social media following the event, and whispers among industry figures suggest that their reputation is quickly deteriorating. The optics of it all are disastrous. While Lively has claimed that the controversy surrounding It Ends With Us has caused her severe emotional distress, she appeared on national television laughing and joking as if nothing was wrong. This contradiction plays directly into the hands of Baldoni's legal team, who are now using her SNL appearance as ammunition against her claims. If she was truly suffering, why would she be cracking jokes on a national stage? If the emotional toll was so severe, why did she and Reynolds stay behind at 30 Rock for over an hour after the show, mingling and taking selfies with other celebrities? These are the questions now being asked, and they're not helping Lively's case. The public reaction has been just as damning. Social media is flooded with criticism, with many questioning the couple's judgment. It seems that what was meant to be a PR move to maintain their relevance has completely backfired. Instead of appearing strong and unshaken, Lively and Reynolds now look like they are trying to manipulate public opinion, using humor and charm to distract from the seriousness of the legal battle. And then there's the biggest twist of all. This wasn't just any public appearance. This was Saturday Night Live, a show run by Colin Jost, who happens to be the husband of Scarlett Johansson, Ryan Reynolds' ex. Whether or not this was intentional, the layers of drama just keep unfolding. Was this a calculated move, a subtle dig at Johansson, or simply another miscalculation in a long line of bad PR decisions? One thing is certain, this scandal isn't going away anytime soon. And with every new revelation, it becomes clearer that Lively and Reynolds may have made one of the biggest missteps of their careers. Hollywood thrives on image, and right now, theirs is crumbling faster than they ever could have anticipated. While Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are out making headlines for all the wrong reasons, Justin Baldoni is taking an entirely different approach, and it's working in his favor. Instead of engaging in media battles, making flashy public appearances, or using humor to deflect serious allegations, Baldoni has disappeared from the Hollywood scene entirely. Reports indicate that Baldoni is currently in Hawaii with his wife and children, supposedly seeking peace and distance from the media circus surrounding the It Ends With Us controversy. His legal team has made it clear that they're focused on letting the truth come out in court, not through public spectacle. Whether intentional or not, this contrast between him and Lively is shaping the public's perception in a major way. On one side, there's Baldoni, avoiding the press, staying with his family and keeping a low profile. On the other, there's Lively, laughing and joking on one of the biggest television stages in the world, seemingly unbothered by the turmoil she claims has ruined her life. This contrast isn't just a bad look for Lively, it could have serious legal consequences. Baldoni's lawyers have already pointed out that her public actions contradict her claims of emotional distress. If Lively is truly suffering, why is she attending an A-list event, cracking jokes with her husband? Why is she staying behind after the show to mingle with celebrities? Why is she presenting an image of complete normalcy rather than one of a woman struggling with serious allegations? This is where Baldoni's legal team has found their golden opportunity. Courts take emotional distress claims seriously, but they also require consistency. A person claiming distress usually isn't appearing in glamorous settings, laughing and socializing. Baldoni's lawyers could argue that her actions prove she is exaggerating her suffering, or worse, that she fabricated it entirely for legal and PR leverage. If they can convince a jury of that, it could destroy Lively's credibility and, by extension, her entire case. Beyond the courtroom, the industry's reaction is telling. While SNL's audience might have clapped along for Lively and Reynolds, Hollywood insiders weren't as kind. Reports suggest that many celebrities at the event were confused about their presence and even avoided interacting with them altogether. Some refused to even look their way, making it clear that Lively and Reynolds are losing allies fast. When A-listers start distancing themselves, it's usually a sign that they don't want to get caught up in a career-damaging scandal. Hollywood thrives on loyalty, but it also loves a redemption arc. And right now, Baldoni is playing his role perfectly. By staying silent and avoiding the public eye, he's giving his accuser enough rope to hang herself with. Lively and Reynolds' botched PR stunt at SNL only made it easier for Baldoni to look like the victim in all of this. The public reaction is also shifting. While Lively initially had widespread support when she first made her accusations, the tide is turning. People are beginning to question why Baldoni would willingly retreat from Hollywood, while Lively is actively seeking attention. The longer this drags out, the more it starts to resemble another infamous Hollywood scandal, Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp. Once upon a time, a Hollywood A-lister could control public perception through carefully curated interviews, major media outlets, and well-placed PR campaigns. But the rules have changed. Thanks to independent media, YouTubers, podcasters, and social commentators, the public isn't just swallowing the traditional narrative anymore. And for Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, that's turning into a nightmare. Their attempt to control the public perception of the It Ends With Us scandal is failing, badly. Instead of turning Baldoni into a villain, their PR strategy has backfired, making them look like manipulative opportunists. One major reason? Alternative media voices aren't buying their story. In the past, mainstream outlets like the New York Times and Vanity Fair would be enough to shape the public's opinion. But now, independent voices on YouTube, TikTok, and podcasts are dissecting Lively's every move, exposing contradictions in her claims, and questioning why Baldoni would willingly retreat from Hollywood if he had something to hide. Take Joe Rogan, for example. His massive platform reaches millions of listeners, far more than traditional news sources, and he's been vocal about his skepticism. Then there's Candace Owens, Megyn Kelly, and other independent media figures who have released multiple videos supporting Baldoni's case. Their influence is powerful, especially among an audience that has grown increasingly distrustful of Hollywood's manufactured narratives. The shift in power dynamics is also making it harder for Lively to maintain her victim narrative. The strategy behind her accusations seem to follow a familiar Hollywood formula. 1. Make serious allegations against a prominent figure. 2. Use the media to frame yourself as the victim. 3. Secure public sympathy and force your opponent into silence. 4. Use this leverage to gain power over the project in question. If everything had gone according to plan, Lively would be walking away from this scandal with complete creative control over It Ends With Us, and a new reputation as a strong, outspoken survivor. Instead, the strategy collapsed under scrutiny. Audiences are now more skeptical than ever of conveniently timed allegations. The Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard case set a precedent. People now demand evidence, context, and consistency. And in Lively's case, the inconsistencies are glaring. How can she claim to be suffering from emotional distress while making a high-profile comedy appearance? How can she argue that Baldoni's actions ruined her life while openly socializing at an A-list event? Meanwhile, Baldoni's side of the story is gaining traction. He isn't relying on PR teams or Hollywood execs to save him. He's letting content creators, online investigators, and public perception do the work for him. And so far, it's working. As the March 9, 2026 court date approaches, the stakes couldn't be higher for Blake Lively. What started as a scandalous Hollywood controversy has now escalated into a legal battle that could cost her everything, including her reputation, career, and potentially hundreds of millions of dollars. Justin Baldoni isn't just fighting back in the court of public opinion, he's fighting in an actual courtroom. He has filed a $400 million defamation lawsuit against Lively, and legal experts are already speculating that he has a strong case. If he wins, it wouldn't just be a financial disaster for Lively, it would be a public reckoning that could permanently tarnish her image. One of the key arguments Baldoni's legal team is expected to make centers around Lively's Saturday Night Live appearance. If her emotional distress claims are a core part of her case, then her decision to attend an A-list event and crack jokes with her husband could be used as direct evidence that she exaggerated or fabricated her suffering. If someone is truly struggling, they don't go on live television, make jokes about their situation, and then mingle with celebrities afterward. Courts take defamation cases seriously, especially when they involve public figures. To win, Baldoni will need to prove that Lively knowingly made false claims about him with the intent to harm his reputation. While defamation cases are notoriously difficult to prove, the sheer volume of evidence that contradicts Lively's statements could work against her. The SNL footage, social media posts, behind-the-scenes interactions, and even Hollywood's cold reception of Lively could all become key pieces of evidence. And then there's the jury factor. Public perception plays a huge role in legal battles like these. And right now, Baldoni is coming across as the wronged party. His decision to retreat from Hollywood and stay with his family in Hawaii has helped shape a narrative of a man unfairly accused, while Lively's continued media presence makes it look like she's more concerned with maintaining her celebrity status than seeking justice. Adding to her legal troubles is the growing number of Hollywood insiders turning against her. Colleen Hoover, the author of It Ends With Us, has reportedly cut ties with Lively, scrubbing any mention of her from her social media. Other celebrities are quietly unfollowing Lively and Reynolds, signaling that they don't want to be associated with the fallout. And then there's the most brutal reality of all. Hollywood is incredibly unforgiving when it comes to PR disasters. If Lively loses this case, the consequences could be catastrophic. She could be forced to pay millions in damages, lose major endorsements, and find herself blacklisted from future projects. Even if she manages to salvage her career, the stain of this controversy will follow her for years. Meanwhile, Reynolds' involvement could also come back to haunt him. His carefully crafted public persona as Hollywood's lovable, self-aware comedian is now being questioned. His decision to joke about the legal battle on SNL could be seen as a calculated move to shift the narrative. But instead, it only made things worse. His reputation isn't just tied to his own actions anymore, it's tied to Lively's, and if she goes down, he could go down with her. At this point, Lively's options are limited. She could attempt to settle the lawsuit before it reaches trial, but that would require admitting some level of wrongdoing. She could try to shift public opinion again, but after the SNL debacle, it's unclear whether she has the support to do so. Or she could double down, fighting the case in court, and risking an even bigger loss. The irony of it all? If Lively and Reynolds had simply stayed out of the public eye, none of this would have happened. If they had handled the situation with more tact, avoided making public jokes about the allegations, and focused on presenting a consistent narrative, they might have had a chance at winning the public over. Instead, their decision to waltz onto the SNL stage has only made things worse, for their case, for their reputations, and for their future in Hollywood. This story isn't over yet. With the trial date looming, new developments are sure to emerge. The question now is whether Lively and Reynolds can recover from this, or if this will be the moment that defines their careers for all the wrong reasons. One thing is for sure, Hollywood is watching. And if past scandals have taught us anything, it's that no one is untouchable.